It's springtime here in the Northeast, and you know what that means? It's flea market season. I was back at another flea market. I picked up a stack of books, including a big Silver Age key, Silver Age first appearance of a character I'd be speculating on. Let's see what I picked up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. I would like to thank everyone who has supported the channel, all of you that have watched and commented, liked, and subscribed. Thank you for that. I am going to be doing my long-awaited 4,000 subscriber giveaway here on the channel. It's going to be at 9:30 Eastern Time on Monday, June 5th, just prior to my usual Monday Whatnot sale. And we're going to be giving away, for 4,000 subscribers, 4,000 prize packages. Fourth prize is going to be this Daredevil graphic novel by Frank Miller and Bill Sienkiewicz. Actually, there's 3 books in each giveaway. This newsstand copy of X-Men 7, this classic Jim Lee cover with Wolverine and Omega Red. And Uncanny X-Men 283, the first full appearance of Bishop. That's fourth prize. Third prize is going to be this 8.5 white pager newsstand edition of Venom Lethal Protector #1. Get that in focus. In addition to that, Ghost Rider 28, the first cameo appearance of the Midnight Suns. And this Batman Death in a Family trade paperback. Those 3 are going to be the second prize. Third prize. Second prize. Captain Britain and MI-13 #5. This is where Blade joins the team. This is a variant cover. The Marvel version of Miracle Man #1. And very big thank you to Streetside Anthony for donating this copy of Axe X-Men #1 variant cover in 9.8 white pager. Look at that beauty. That is Salvador Larroca. And then the first prize, and we're going to select the prizes in reverse order. Wolverine #3 limited series, Frank Miller and Chris Claremont. This great Michael Turner cover of Superman Batman 10, and Infinite Crisis 5, first appearance of Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle, 9.6 white pager. The way you can enter the giveaway: any one of the videos that I dropped during the month of May, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. You have to like the video. You have to leave an appropriate comment. The video that, when we do the giveaway, has the fewest comments is the one we're going to select the winner from. And we'll use a random number generator. We'll select the fourth prize, then third, then second, then first. I will ship anywhere in the U.S. Internationally, we can work something out on the expenses for shipping. So I'm already over 4,200 subscribers, so we're on the road. This is the next step on the road to 5,000 subscribers. It's been a couple of years since I started this channel. It has been a lot of fun to produce these videos for the comic book community. I'd like to thank everyone again for stopping by and watching my videos, and, you know, saying stuff to me when you see me at shows or at flea markets or whatever. It's been a lot of fun, so we want to keep that fun, positive energy up. So you don't have to be present for the giveaway. The giveaway video will be active for after the show, so you can check out to see if you won. And again, that's going to be on Monday, June 5th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So have 4 giveaway packages. Now on with our regular programming. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Please follow us on other socials. Instagram at Bronzeville_comics, and also Whatnot, Bronzeville_comics sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. You can check out the store. there is, if you're not yet signed up to Whatnot, there is a link in the description to this video that will get you $10 off your first purchase with me or anyone else. And also in the description, a link to my email and my eBay store. So I went to the Meadowlands Flea Market. It was an overcast, kind of cool morning. It had been really hot the last couple days, but some rain came in on Friday evening, cooled everything down. So there were a bunch of people, because the Meadowlands Flea Market hasn't been open for a few weeks. And so they're usually most Saturdays, unless I guess there's an event like a concert or something going on at the venue. But I walked around, and the usual vendors, and there's some guys who usually have reasonably priced stuff. Some have good stuff. So Will was there, guy I see there quite often. I just picked up a few books from him. This is a speculation book, nice newsstand of Jack of Hearts. There were some people who thought we might see that character in the She-Hulk series. Did not happen. Speaking of She-Hulk, we got Avengers 231. This is the first meeting of She-Hulk and Star Fox. Will that happen? A minor key. And then, this is a sharp copy. Frank Miller Daredevil books, especially with the Born Again series coming out. And speaking of like what is currently coming out, third appearance, I think this is third appearance of Spot in Spectacular Spider-Man 100. If you have not yet seen, I saw it tonight. If you've not yet seen the new Spider-Verse film, I don't know why you're watching me. Go watch that. It is fantastic. So much fun. Took the kids to it. We had a great time. Then I was just going around to some other vendors, just picking up stuff here and there. This Doomsday appearance is part of the Death of Superman run, Justice League America, number 69. Unfortunately, it's the first printing. The DC Universe logo is something to seek after. It's pretty good shape. DC Comics Presents number 1, mid-grader, but this is, I think, the 5th Superman Flash race. Supervillain Team Up number 11. This is a nice little series. I think there were 17 issues to this. You got Doctor Doom and Red Skull, and you also have Submariner, who co-starred with Doctor Doom in the first handful of issues. And then a 25-cent Avengers book. This has, I think it's the first appearance of Ultron 7. Minor significance. I got all 4 of those books for $5. Then there was a guy there. He usually has books for like $1 or $2. And sometimes he has some gems. He said he had better stuff this time, and he did. And what was interesting is none of these dealers was I the first one there. So anyway, we bundled everything together. I paid probably less than $4 a book for everything I have here. There were some Archies, and these are 90s Archies. And certain Archies, if you know, you know. There are folks who are real connoisseurs of certain type of Archie cover. Then he had a bunch of Golden Age books. And I've recently, especially when you go to flea markets and stuff is fairly cheap, if you can find in decent shape, mid-grade or better, just about any Golden Age book, at the right price, it's worth picking up. So this is I think this is from Harvey. Teenage Brides. I guess that was a more innocent connotation back in 1955 or whenever this came out. This is the issue number 7, final issue of the run. And again, there are people who really enjoy these early romance books. This I thought was a cool pickup. It's Black Hawk 92, and it's when, if you just look there, it's still published by Quality Comics at this time. This, I think, was 1955. This was right before. Quality basically lasted right until the end of the Golden Age, like early 1956. They got sold off to DC, and Black Hawk was one of the titles that continued as a DC title. Then I picked this book up, and people have been through there before, and it was on. It's a key collector. It's 4-color 629, and it is the first appearance of Lady and the Tramp in comics. So a nice little Disney key. And again, this is solid mid-grade. Solid mid-grade. Nice book. No big stains, no big creases. And then I picked up a bunch of, this is one of the later ones. This is also a 4-color. It's number 1182. Donald Duck album. I think all of these others, Donald Duck 50. I have to double check the specifics. Walt Disney's Comics and Stories 193. What else we got? Walt Disney's Comics and Stories 197. $199. And none of these are in low grade. These are all like 4 5s to 7s. This is $215. And I'm pretty sure most of these issues, other than maybe the first one, the album, $214. And this is Donald Duck number 60. I believe all of these are contain Carl Barks story and art. So they're, again, collectors. Carl Barks is one of the major forces in the history of comic books. And the Walt Disney stuff is, especially in the 50s, it's out there because that was like the best-selling book at the time. After superheroes kind of ran their course and the Comics Code Authority came in and got rid of the horror and the crime titles, the only comics that people were buying their kids was stuff that was really safe, like Disney. And there were a few others. Archie survived, but Disney was probably the bestseller in the 50s. So I got those. There was also another Disney-related book. This is another 4-color, 614. It's the adaptation of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the Disney film. That film from 54, maybe even earlier. I'm not quite sure. With James Mason starring, based on the Jules Verne novel. I also picked this up. Actually, this one I'll show. I had sold a bunch of these because I know there are people who collect it. I'm not sure the number because the number's always never on the front cover of Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. The Bugs and Elmer. And this is interesting. I picked this up. This is post-code. Look at the large Comics Code stamp. This is Daredevil 133. Not the Matt Murdock version. For those of you that are unfamiliar, there was a Daredevil superhero published by Lev Gleason. Charles Biro was the creative force behind it. And this is, I think, 1955, this comic. This is the penultimate issue. The last 134 issues. And by this time, they'd given over to the Little Wise Guys, right? So kind of kid humor book. But again, since it's in pretty nice shape, a little bit of a spine split at the bottom, but for a 10-cent, I guess this is probably the very tail end of the golden age. That's pretty good. Then I saw these three, and these are all around the same time because they all have something very much in common. One of these is the last one. So I picked these. They're all in nice shape. My Greatest Adventure 54. Right? These are all science fiction stories from DC. They're all from around 1961. They probably all came from the same collection because a lot of these have this R written on it. It's still 10 cents. So I think that's 1961. I think DC went to 12 cents in 62. Another sharp copy, Strange Adventures 126. And this is really sharp. This is probably, I think, like an 8. I think it's this one that's the sharpest, which is like, I think it's like an 8.5. House of Mystery 109. And I paid less than $4 for each of those books on average. So then there was one other vendor I went to, and this guy, see him there frequently. He's pretty stingy with his prices. Now, he recently did have somebody working for him. They kind of knew comics and was pricing stuff out. So he had a pile of just kind of more modern junk. But then he had like a case to the side which had some books and bags and boards. So I'm looking through and I put 7 books to the side. I said, how much for the comics? He goes, it depends. $5, $10, $20, $100, $200. I'm like, okay, how much for these 7? So he puts 6 to the side and one pile and puts the other one to the side. He goes, these are $10 each, and this is $250, which was probably a fair price because it was Fantastic Four number 8, the first appearance of the Puppet Master. But I wasn't really looking to spend $250 on a comic book today, and it looked to be in mid-grade, lower end of mid-grade. So you'd be paying about fair market value for that book, which is fine. I mean, you know, somebody that wants that book, it's there. So I said, okay, I'll take the other 6. Will you do 50? He goes, nope, $10 each. I'm like, okay, fine. Because I was really happy with the batch of books and really happy with the last one I'm going to show you, which is the biggest key. So Spectre number 10 from the Silver Age run. These are all mid-grade, solid mid, like in the probably the 5 to 6.5 range, I think, most of these books. Spectre number 10, this is the last issue of the run. This is a PC book for me. I don't think I have that. I have a bunch, I have several of those Spectres. I don't have all 10. Some of them are worth something. There's a couple of Neil Adams covers, really cool. Here we have Witching Hour number 2. This is a Nick Cardy cover. So that's a nice book. That is a, I'm trying to see, find the price on there. That's interesting. This is probably a 12 center based on when it's from, but oh no, there it is. It's really kind of obscured in the artwork. So that's cool. That'll probably go in a Bronze Age Horror Night and whatnot. And then this one, similarly, House of Mystery 180, Neil Adams cover. Would have been nice to have 179. 179 is the first professional artwork by Bernie Wrightson. There's some Marvels. Again, solid mid-grade. This got some creasing in it, some chipping on the side. But Hulk 115, really cool leader cover. Nice 12-cent Incredible Hulk book. This one, usually, even flea market vendors take this title and will charge you more for it. But you just $10, and I'm like, sold. Amazing Spider-Man 71. Give me a double-digit ASM for $10 in solid condition all day long. And then this was the book. This is the second time I found this book in the wild. It's probably in the 5, maybe on its best day, a 6 range. I had found one last summer when I was on vacation. And it's also a spec book. I had kind of had it on my radar before I found it. And then when I found it today and found it for $10, absolutely. The only question is whether or not I'm going to submit this book for grading. And I'll talk about why I might do that. It's Showcase 80. This is the first Silver Age appearance of the Phantom Stranger. I was correct. It is a Neil Adams cover, which I think adds to the value. The Phantom Stranger had his own run in the early 50s. And then he wasn't seen again until this book is from, what year is this from? 1969. And the Phantom Stranger has been a major player in DC continuity ever since. He became kind of an unofficial member of the Justice League in Justice League of America 103. That's from 1972. And has been around with connected to Swamp Thing. Has had his own title at certain times. And the reason that I think this is a good book to pick up is because he's been a member of the Justice League Dark. I think there's a better than average chance, especially since they're introducing Swamp Thing, that they'll do Justice League Dark. I don't think you do Justice League Dark without the Phantom Stranger. I think he's just too cool a character. They used him in the Swamp Thing TV show, but I wasn't overly enamored with the portrayal. I think they, need to kind of elevate his presence, and you could see him in the Swamp Thing series. So the question is this worth getting graded? There are two schools of thought. So let's say it's a 5.5, was just, the kind of the dirty grade that I gave it. So, the Go Collect has the FMV of this book in a 5.5 that I'm looking up at $170, right? However, The last sale was $100, and the sale before that at auction, at Hake's auction, which I guess they're pulling data from now, was 58, and the one before that was 190. One before that was 63. So it's been kind of all over the place. So here's my thought process in a book like this. Number one, if I'm going to get this graded, I'm going to put the time and effort into cleaning and pressing it, which will improve the grade from the 5.5 it is. Maybe a 6, maybe a 6.5. Okay? So the fair market value of a 6 is also $170. Last auction was way back in November for $67. And the fair market value of 6.5 is $180. So you do have price compression there. My thought, though, is, now I want to keep one for my personal collection. I now have 2 copies of this. But my thought process is that if Phantom Stranger comes into the TV show and the movies, we know how those properties get driven by announcements. Just look at the announcement James Gunn did several months ago, which elevated the prices of a lot of books, at least temporarily. So will this book increase in value? I don't think it's going to triple in value like things did in 2021, but I think we can see, a potential increase in value of this book if the character does come to the DCU, and you get an improved copy of the book. It does have, I think there's a little bit of a rust at the top staple, and it does have like a crunch at the top that can be improved. I think there are limiting factors with this book. Probably like a 6. So 2 schools of thought. When you have price compression at that mid-grade, improving it through a clean and a press doesn't do a lot for you. Obviously, it wouldn't be something that would be worth getting a 5.5 and cracking it out to get a 6.5. That's certainly not worth it. But, is it worth it? So let's say it's $150 graded right now. I have $10 into this. I put another, what would it be, like $35, clean and press it myself, so $45, and it's worth $100 more than that. That's not a bad deal. So let me know what you think in the comments below. When is a book worth getting graded? Generally speaking, for Silver Age mid-grade books, I'd like to get it to a $200 book if I'm going to have it graded, generally speaking. Could this book hit $200 if we see some interest behind the Phantom Stranger? I think that's possible. And the low number of sales means this is not a book that's continually making hot 10 lists. It's not a book that people are just blindly speculating on. So and the thing that I found kind of interesting is, right as it lays, it's probably a $100 book, right? If I went on eBay and looked for comps, let's look at comps on eBay. Showcase 80. Just what's available for sale, right? Let's just go buy it now. And you have to filter through some things that are not this book, other showcases that somehow have 80 in the, yeah. So there's a low grade for $42. That's not bad. Now, a book in worse shape for $40. A 2.5 for $50. You have a book for $60. This is better than that. So I'm looking to see, what I would have to spend on eBay right now to get this book. I'm looking at it's got Chew at the top. It's probably better than that, 75. And then you jump to 100, 5 to 6, fine. That's essentially what you'd have to pay to get this book and this is probably a little bit better. Maybe. It's about the same, right? About $100 to get this in a buy it now on eBay. So figure it's approximately $100 book. $10 in, that's not bad profit. But it's not something I'm looking to turn around right away. And also, 2 copies, I might get them both graded. I think they're both approximately the same condition. Keep one, move one. So that's my thought process. The comments below, let me know what you think about that. If you know, if you're looking to, you know, if you have multiple copies of the same book and you want to keep the higher grade, or it's a book that you think might increase in value, what would you do with it? I know some people are just readers. Some people just keep them raw. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's fine. Yeah, it's a little bit of a spec book, but it's also an established key, which is kind of what I like. An established key that does have room to grow. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying, until next time, enjoy your comics.